Hello and welcome to another Goliath guitar tutorial. My name is Gareth Evans and today we're learning the song Still My Girl by One Direction. I quickly want to mention a couple of things before we get started with the lesson. Firstly, this is a fingerstyle arrangement of the song. If you want to go and listen to how it sounds in its entirety, you can click the link on the screen now if your annotations are enabled. Otherwise, there's a link down in the description of this video. The second thing is this is part one of the lesson. If you want to go and watch any of the parts, as well as download the tabs, which are absolutely free, click the link on the screen now or a link down in the description of this video. The next thing I want to mention is the guitar strings that I use. I use Elixir guitar strings. They're my number one choice. The reasons are that they're really silky smooth to play. They feel great on your fingers. They last for 3 to 5 times longer than your average string. They really do last that long. And also the tone in them is amazing, which is why it brings me great pleasure to bring you this guitar lesson in association with Elixir strings. And the last thing to mention is the capo. You're going to need a capo for this lesson, and it's going to have to be on the 3rd fret. Okay, so let's get on with the lesson. And if you look at your tabs, we're looking at bars 1 through 8. This is the intro of the song. Okay, what I've done there is I've played you a preview of the first 8 bars. This is exactly what we'll be learning in this lesson. So to begin, if you've got your capo in place and everything, we are going to start with that sequence there. Okay, so we've got the 3rd fret on the 6th string here. Okay, and the other positions on and off the 1st fret on the 2nd string. And then the 2nd fret and off of the 3rd string. Okay, so the sequence, all in all, in bar 1, start with that. You play the 6th string with your thumb, you play the 1st fret and the 2nd string with your middle finger, and then you repeat the process, 6th string with your thumb, and then you play the open 2nd string with your middle finger. Okay? Next up, you play 6 and then the 3rd string here, but you come up to the 2nd fret on that 3rd string. And then followed by 6th string again, and then the open 2nd string again. So it's... So all in all so far. Okay, to finish off the first bar, you play the 6 again, and then you play the 3rd string on the 2nd fret, but this time you play it and then you pull off to open. You don't play it twice, you just play it the once, and the 2nd note comes from just pulling your finger off the string to leave the open string sounding. Like that. So all in all, this first bar should sound like this. Okay? Once you've got that, if you haven't got that yet, just repeat that part of first part of the video, and until you get it right. What you do next in bar number 2 is an exact repeat of bar number 1. So you play this for a whole of 2 bars. Okay, that should be pretty easy. Next up, what we're going to do is play this. And that is bar number 3 and 4. And it's just a variation of what we've just done, basically. So what we do is we move our ring finger from the 3rd fret on the 6th string to the 3rd fret on the 5th string. And that's the bass note that we use from now on in bars 3 and 4. Everything else is exactly the same. So instead of alternating with the 6th string, every other note, you're alternating now with the 5th string. So it's... As you notice, everything else in that little sequence there is identical. So the only thing you're doing is moving what string you're fretting with the left hand and what string you're plucking with your thumb. That's the only difference. And you do that again for 2 whole bars. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we will recap everything that we've learned. We're going to recap the whole of bar 1 through 4 together with me, and we're going to see if we can play it together before moving on. Okay, so let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you got that, well done. Before we continue with this lesson, I do want to take a quick second to mention my Patreon page. Although these guitar lessons are 100% free, if you do want to contribute to the production of these tutorials, you can go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Gareth Evans. In return for your support, you can get early access to tabs, you can get early access to the videos, you can get one-on-one Skype lessons with me if you like. Go and check out all the information on my Patreon page, link on the screen now or down in the description of this video. So next up, let's move on to bars number 5 through 8 of the tabs, and we're playing now. Now then, what we've got here is some percussion. It's a couple of things, a couple of percussive elements. You've got the wrist thump into the body of the guitar, and that comes usually when you play a bass note. Okay. Also, the other percussive element is the thumb slap into the strings. Now, you do this by slapping the 5th and or 6th string into the fretboard here and producing that kind of snare drum effect. So you've got bass drum, snare drum. If you are not familiar with these techniques, you can go to my website, Gareth Guitar Tutorials. Check out, there's a lesson there, 5-part lesson. It'll give you a lot of examples and exercises to do to help you with this technique if you are struggling. If you don't want to play it just now, just play it without the percussion and then come back to the percussion after you've learned the song. That's always my number 1 tip if you're new to this type of thing. So, by the way, one thing to mention, if you're looking at the tabs, the little 0 or circle above the tabs means that's the thump, wrist thump into the body of the guitar, and the 2 X's usually means a slap, I think, thumb slap. So that's where your percussion is demonstrated on the tabs. So first up, bar number 5. Okay. Okay, we're going back to the original position now. 3rd fret on the 6th string with that little run down there on the 2nd and 3rd string. So to begin with that opening bass note, we've got a thump into the body of the guitar with our wrist. Okay. Okay. Once you've got that, you play the 2nd string on the 1st fret. Okay. Followed by slap into the strings, giving you the snare drum sound. Quickly after that, you play the open 2nd, so the whole sequence. Okay? After that, it gets tricky. You've got 2 kind of thumbs in quick succession. So we've got a thump into the body with the 6th string, followed by the 2nd fret on the 3rd string here. And then the same again, thump into the body when playing the 6th string, and then the open 2nd string. So it's like that. So what we've got so far in bar number 5, okay, Hope you got that. If you haven't, just rewind the video. Next, you slap into the strings, and then you play that pull off from second to open on the third string straight after. So it's slap, and then play the third string on the second fret, pulled off to open. Okay, so the whole of bar number 5, so far, what we should have is this. Okay, I hope you got that, because next step what we're going to do is repeat that exactly in its entirety for bar number 6. It's just a complete repeat, so you play it the whole of for a whole of twice, and it goes like this. So next we're going to move on to bars number 7 and 8, and we're going to do exactly what we did in the first 4 bars. We're going to swap out the bass note on the 3rd fret, the 6th string here, for the 3rd fret on the 5th string, and everything else stays the same. So, okay, you should be able to get that from how I described it. It's basically you repeat exactly the same as you did, keeping everything the same, other than, even the percussion, everything the same, other than that bass note is now the 3rd fret on the 5th string. So with that said, that's bars 7 and 8 covered. We're going to go back now, play bars 5 through 8 together, and it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's that covered. So that's the first 8 bars described for you. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to go through everything from the beginning of this lesson. Bar 1 through 8, we're going to play that all together and see if you can play it along with me. If you can't, then you're not ready probably to go on to the next part of this lesson. So let's see if you can keep up with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is it for part number 1 of the lesson. If you did enjoy this video, please click the thumbs up button because it really does help me out. If this is the first video of mine that you've ever seen, why not click the subscribe button? It's absolutely free, and I will see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.